All right, good morning, everyone. This is Gagan Sarkaria here for a live stream with my team. And today is Friday, May 16th, and we are very excited and in a celebratory mood as we are celebrating our first annual birthday for the live streams that we've been doing on this channel called Inspired Insights. So we were, right before we were going live, we were talking about love languages. So communication that happens with each other, and how do you bond with each other, and what are your love languages. But we also kind of want to talk about how can you build relationships based on Chinese metaphysics. How do you do things, improve your life, business, wealth, career, and your own health using Chinese metaphysics. So today's session is very special to all of us. And I want to share why we are here today and why we are not talking about what the forecasts are, or what mitigations you should do, what the energy levels are, how do you plan your business or career. Today, we are talking about our annual review. We want to share what this journey has been for all of us, where we started a year ago. So last year was a very important year for me personally, as according to Karmic Numerology, I was wrapping up my 9-year cycle, but I was also laying the foundations for the next 9 years. So if you have been following us, whether you're new to the channel or you are a devoted subscriber who logs in and watches our videos and our live streams all the time, I want to share that last year I formed the Gagan Sarkaria International Consulting Group. We started with 5 of us. Well, we started with 2, and now those 2 have changed. But what the journey taught us and how we took each month and each quarter and what we achieved is what we want to talk about. So it's happy birthday to us, and I've got my amazing partners and my friends and buddies here, William Chua from Singapore. How are you, William?
Hi, good morning, Gagan. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. And how are you, Armen?
I'm doing great. Happy to see you again, guys.
Yes, happy birthday to all of us. This is amazing. We started this journey. The very first live stream for Inspired Insights happened last year on Mother's Day. And this year on Mother's Day weekend, my daughter graduated from her university degree, and I'm super excited. We were all busy that weekend, so we didn't want to do a Sunday live stream. So we are here celebrating our anniversary, and we have a deck that we've created and want to talk about, because this is where the entire how would we say, we walk the talk. If you're talking about Chinese metaphysics, if you're talking about creating wealth, if you're talking about manifestation and abundance and investments and Feng Shui activations, how do you improve relationships? If somebody's not working with you, how do you collaborate better? We use and tap into the wisdom, the ancient wisdom of Chinese metaphysics, and work around that. We share those insights with you guys on a regular basis, and we apply those insights to our own personal lives as well. So those of you who do not know me or are watching us again, my name is Gagan Sarkaria. I'm a high achievement business coach. I'm a certified Chinese metaphysics practitioner based out of Texas, United States of America. I'm the owner and the founder of Gagan Sarkaria International Consulting Group. And like I said, I've got William Chua and Armen Setaghyan here with me. William is based out of Singapore, and Armen is in Armenia. We form the Gagan Sarkaria International Consulting Group, where we assist determined entrepreneurs and business owners and organizations achieve remarkable success. So before I go forward and share some analytics and data and some accomplishments, I want to start with the objectives and the key results. One of the biggest objectives that I had last year was, after we finished our Bazi certification, we were all in the Bazi program and we got certified. And then my focus was to not do whatever I was doing all by myself. With the grace of the universe and with a lot of manifestations and prayers, I found amazing friends that I wanted to create the next chapter of my life and my business, especially when it came to coaching, consulting, and high achievement success. So I had built a brand for the last 12 years, and I wanted to not take that journey forward all by myself. So I invited William and Armen to come join, and William was the first one who said, I would love to. So that was an amazing yes. And, he's like that big brother that I can count on. For me, Armen and William have been those two pillars of strength that no matter what happens in my life, I can always reach out and seek advice. I can always share what's happening, and they will either snap me out of that like pity party if I'm having that, or they will give me mostly solutions. Okay, what about this? What about that? And it just becomes such an amazing partnership and collaboration that you can't be in the downward spiral for more than 2 seconds. We can pull ourselves out really good. And in the last 1 year, we've done 35 live streamed sessions for you guys. We've been here for 35 plus hours, sharing our knowledge, wisdom, insights, giving you solutions, talking about the energy levels, talking about how do you go and create success for yourself? How do you change the energies, whether that environment is inside you or outside you? We have a YouTube channel as you're all watching us live streamed, or you will come back and watch us again. And this also live stream goes to LinkedIn, also goes to Facebook. So the YouTube channel growth, where we've talked about business achievements or growth, or we talked about money and mindset, manifestation techniques. We've shared a lot of tips and tools like Chinese Metaphysics, energy work, mudras and mantras, and also Karmic Numerology. A lot of attraction came from Karmic Numerology as a topic. So in this last 1 year, we gained 159 new subscribers, and we uploaded 14 videos to the channel. 275 plus shorts were uploaded, and all of them had the concept of metaphysics, especially Chinese metaphysics, whether you're talking about Qigong, Bazi, I Ching, you're talking about Karmic Numerology, and all of those sharings were for you to seek the guidance and apply those tips and tools to grow and be successful in life. So in the last 1 year, we've had 12,943 views as of 14th May. And then the total views that the channel now has 26,727. And when we look at the impressions we've made on YouTube to the target audience that we have, it's over 200,000 impressions in 1 year. So the content that we have shared, the content we've posted, the live streams we've done, we are close to 250,000 impressions, and we are very happy. And I'm very happy because I do the back-end systems and I run the back-end aspects of the marketing, the operations, the growth, the outreach. So I get to see all of that data, and I'm very excited what we've done in the last 1 year. And I'm so happy and grateful to have Armen and William in my lives and as partners here. So I'm going to pass the mic to Armen, who's going to now share his slides and talk about what he's accomplished using Chinese metaphysics and Karmic Numerology, and what this year has created for him and for us together. So the mic is yours, Armen.
Thank you so much, Gagan. Thank you. This is really amazing that we accomplished 1 year and now celebrating this. Because, guys, it was very difficult and challenging year last year. It was crazy year, let's say in this way, because we managed to do a lot of things. Now I realize how much we have done so far, what we have done, what we achieved so far. And this is just the beginning. And this is just the beginning that will continue. So from my point of view, what we have achieved it's tremendous. And what I've done during the last year, so it was more about the sessions, monthly forecasting using Bazi and Karmic Numerology. And also I was sharing the daily Feng Shui energy forecast as well, and co-facilitated with our partners, with my buddies, regarding Period 9 Masterclass. Also, I managed to do several masterclasses about Karmic Numerology. When we went deeper into Karmic Numerology, especially in financial triangles in our metrics, financial triangle part, and also we managed to do several consultations as well. And also, let me share my screen, okay? And I managed to do HR, a workshop for HR community here in Armenia, Yerevan. And it was about unlocking employee potential with Bazi, the ancient Chinese art of personality and team synergy. When I was thinking about doing this workshop, first of all, I was thinking how to deliver this knowledge, this message to HR community, because here Armenia is a very religious country, and first country who accepted Christianity. And people, when people hear about these kind of things like metaphysics, Bazi, numerology, etc., they don't accept it like immediately. Okay, you need to bring some validations, something in order to yes. Mm-hmm. And it was very difficult. It was too much hard for me to deliver this message, but I managed to do it with the help of Chinese metaphysics, manifestation, activations, etc. And as you see in this slide, I managed to do offline workshop for HR community, and around 30 people participated in this workshop. It was amazing, and they're asking to do one more. Hopefully, until the end of this year, I will be able to do one more for HR community as well. So during the last year, I managed to travel to KL. It was an amazing trip. I met my buddies there, and also I met our master, Joey Yap in KL. So it was an amazing trip, and I will cherish this, memories, this trip for all of my life. Hopefully this year we can repeat it once again. So, and create another amazing story. So what I managed to do, actually, during last year, I managed to participate in different TV shows. Like here is a TV show, which is morning TV show. And it was amazing. I talk about Chinese metaphysics. I talk about numerology. I did some forecasting regarding 2024, 2025. This was very interesting for me, my first experience. And also, I was invited for invited radio station, one of the famous radio stations here in Armenia. And also we talk about numerology, metaphysics, etc. And the latest one last month happened that this TV, they invited me for a TV show. We talked about, again, numerology, metaphysics. And as nowadays, as you know, guys, more and more people are engaging in this context. And, even in Armenia, people started to follow these modalities because life is getting more harder and harder. And that's why people trying to understand what to do. Are there any tools, any knowledge that they can learn and immediately use for their life to better their abundance? And yes, we talked about that as well. So this, by the way, this show hasn't released yet. I'm waiting, and as soon as it will be released, I will share it with you, and I think you will like it as well. So what else I did? Oh my gosh, I did a lot about brand building because I'm a person who doesn't like to show himself in front of the cameras, and doing photo shoots and making reels. This was something that I managed to overcome. This was very challenging for me. I managed to overcome this, and with the help of my team, and also I managed to find a suitable person who did the photo shoot and doing my making my reels. And yes, it was challenging, but I knew that I need to come out of my comfort zone and do the job, because there was no other choice. There was no other choices. I need to do this. I have to do this. And by the way, guys, when I was in KL and I had an opportunity to ask a question to our master Joey, and he said one of the things he said was related to creating a brand. Yes, building a brand. And I said, okay, this is the way to do it. And also, I started to be more active on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and also in LinkedIn. I never thought that I can share anything regarding metaphysics and numerology on LinkedIn, and a lot of people started to, get interested in it. Sending me messages, asking questions, etc. This is amazing. Yes, and this is all about my what I have done. Yes, I tried to summarize.
Correct. Oh, Armen, thank you so much for sharing your journey in a summarized version. But oh boy, we can write a book around it. You talk about brand building, and I'm so proud of you for sharing how you forced yourself to come out of your comfort zone, where you are camera shy. You don't know, if you want to appear in front or not. I know you've used your voice in the past when you were in corporate jobs and leading big projects, as a project manager. Like, if I talk about the certifications and the degrees you have, the titles that go behind your name, I think the slide will run smaller. You are such an accomplished professional, and I totally understand the hesitation where the country or the audience does not accept metaphysics as as a vital or as a reliable source of tool for communication or professional development. I went through that challenge 15 years ago when I was making that transition. When I say the transition, we are in such a beautiful period of energy called period 9, because now people are more open to receiving the spiritual and the metaphysical aspect. They are at least willing to listen to you with an open mind. 15 years ago, and especially when we were at the getting into the peak phase of period 9, people were not. They were very close-minded and very different in their approaches and understanding. So I went through that struggle full-blown, inside the house and outside the house, But
Yes.
I was so connected with the Chinese metaphysics approach, even though I was born and brought up in India and I was totally exposed in that culture of metaphysics, the Eastern metaphysics. There was something different that I found in Chinese metaphysics was the valid aspects or the science behind it. So that's why we call Bazi and Ziwei Daoshu and certain components of Qigong as destiny science. They fall in that category because it's less vague, more analytical, and formula driven. So when we talk about our exposure in LinkedIn, we've done really well. People have reached out personally and gotten into our lead magnets and shared that they have really enjoyed our live streams on LinkedIn and how we take the Chinese metaphysics approach and modality and share real life experiences and applications so that they can build their own brand and business and life and career and create long-lasting wealth for themselves. So kudos to you for working on your brand building. And I want to share that you've done great work in building your brand and being and appearing on national TVs and radio shows. I mean, that was an amazing. And now you get invited to speak on those channels. And the biggest one that I felt was recently when you did the Human Resources Association's workshop.
Yes, they were very interesting. Well, and I'm actually I have another upcoming masterclass, which will be in one of the business clubs here in Armenia as well. But I'll do when I come back from my travel. And one more thing I want to share, Gagan, as well. People will judge you when they hear something unusual. When you do something unusual and new, the society will judge you. They will, start to judge you. They will say that you won't succeed. This is something this is useless. What are you doing? But guys, here is an advice for me. If you feel that it resonates with you, no matter it's physics, no matter. It can be something different. So first of all, follow your dreams and your mission. And try to listen to your intuition rather than try to analyze using your brain. Okay, this is something which I can advise you. This is something that works well. And as Gagan mentioned, we're in period 9, and in period 9, it's better to listen to your intuition rather than analyze something using your brain.
Your skill set. So if your mindset and your heart set are kind of in sync, and sometimes the mind has to take the front seat when they are driving, right? And sometimes the heart has to. But if you don't feel good inside, whether it's a project or a partnership or people around you or the energies in the house, if you are not at peace and you're off balance, that's a good sign for you to pause and understand the chaos that's happening, whether that chaos is only in your head and heart or inside, or it's actually in your environment. I believe if there's a problem, there is a solution. Mm-hmm. You just have to be persistent and positive enough to find the solution, because sometimes the solution is not right in front of you. Sometimes the solution is behind you or on the sides, or maybe in Singapore or in Armenia. Sometimes the solution is not right under your nose or in front of your eyes, but it does exist. And if you tap into the powers and the guidance that you get from Chinese metaphysics modalities, whether that is Bazi, Ziwe Dao Shu, whether that is I Ching, whether that is Qi, like we all love Qi and Bazi and Ziwe. William is master of I Ching also, so he kind of brings that as a layer inside his insights too. But when you if you're open to receiving that information and finding and seeking your solution, you do find, and then you are able to create the breakthroughs that you probably wouldn't have for weeks or months or years or never. And then you would have had regret that, oh my gosh, I didn't know and I wasted the time. Because let me tell you one thing, there is no rewind button to time. So it's a matter of how do you utilize your time in the moments of chaos in your life. And in the last 18 months, I would say since the period 9 energy started to shift, there has been a lot of chaos. And look at the last 5 months of this year alone, it hasn't been a smooth ride for the entire world in many, many aspects. So if you look at all of those situations, if you look at where do you find your calmness in the middle of the chaos, we all tend to reach out and tap into the energies of the Chinese metaphysics modalities. And if those of you who don't know this, that we did annual forecasts for 2025 back in January. We did one using Qi and we did one using Bazi. So if you have not watched it, I highly recommend that you go watch the annual forecast for 2025 And there are certain slides in here I want to share. We were talking about back in January that where are the opportunities for us in 2025? And we were looking at the 5 elements being water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. And it's a productive cycle. So metal will produce the water and the cycle goes on. And when we looked at where the opportunities are, I did the forecast and I shared in that session that if you have your Bazi chart and you have wood on your natal chart, on your personal Bazi chart, if you have wood, you have a lot of opportunities. If you have water, again, good opportunities. If you have fire, great opportunities. But if you do not have these 3 on your natal Bazi chart, then you can definitely create opportunities for yourself if you have earth element, and metal has the least opportunities in 2025. So for those of you who don't know, I have wood, water, and fire on my natal Bazi chart. So I went to work. I went to a lot of work to create a lot of things. And one of the biggest things that I wanted to create was this partnership, Inspired Insights and Gagan Sarkaria International group of consultants. And I think we've done a good job in the last 1 year, building our own internal team and creating products and courses for our community. So the high achievers of 2025, I shared in that forecast, are going to be horse, rat, snake, and rooster. So I have rat in my chart. William, I think you have horse, right, in your chart. And then I have snake also in my luck pillar. And this is the snake year, and this is the snake month. So talk about how many snakes did I have this month. There was a day, which was a snake day a few days ago. So I ended up having 5 snakes in my chart and was, okay, let's go do something else with this. It is a volatile energies, but we can do something with that high peak energies, even for a short period of time. The ones with the most challenges in 2025, I shared that in January too in the forecast: ox, dragon, pig, and goat. So somebody has a dragon in here. William, you have a dragon?
The good thing is I have both the horse and rat, okay? But also I have pig and dragon.
Pig and dragon. Exactly. So if you have the good, you might have the bad also, right? So like, for example, I do have rat in my chart, but I also have ox and goat, So you look at the good and the bad, and you look at the whole picture. It all depends upon how do you manage the challenges and how do you create success with what you've got from the best sides of things. So who can make the most money in 2025? We also talked about that. So if you have rat, rooster, or snake, you're good. Now, all these possibilities and potentialities doesn't mean that it will happen if you don't do anything. If you don't take action, if you don't utilize your skill set, and if you don't network, and you don't have the right noblemen showing up, and you don't manifest what you really, if you don't have clarity about your week or about your month, quarter, year, how will you create your success? So it all starts with awareness and clarity. And then, Stephen Covey once said that the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. So we all try to see, okay, what's on my schedule? What's on my schedule? What's on my schedule? I'll work on that. But if you don't know what your priorities are, you won't be able to schedule them on your calendar. So
first of all, you need to get to set your priorities. Okay, prioritize your priorities and then start. That's very useful.
So most people don't know what their priorities are. They think they do. They think they do. For example, if I have a job, I have to go to work. That's a priority. Then whatever file is on my table, or whatever file comes in the email when I open my emails at work, that's my priority. That's not your priority. You have to step away from technology to really have the big picture, to understand what your priorities are, and then schedule them and then work around all of them. So we went to work when we were wrapping up last year. And then in January, which was the 12th month energy for 2024, because the new year doesn't start till February. So we went to work, we did the forecast, we shared all this information, we applied it to our own selves, and then we created the success that we wanted to create. And I will like to pass the mic to William Chua now so that he can share what he's created for all of us and how amazing his wisdom and his insights have been for the entire community. Thank you so much, William, for what you do. And I'm super grateful for your presence in my life.
Thank you, Gagan. You're over flattering me, so I don't know what to say. Okay, I will skip through some of this slides because I think we're just talking about what I'm doing. Like I'm doing a Feng Shui, Qigong, Bazi, as well as I'm doing the I Ching as well. So these are the things actually I'm mastering, trying to build it to actually I would say to give up back to the community, right? So this is what I'm doing. And at the same time, as what Gagan is mentioning, we have done this thing called Period 9 Masterclass, which you may want to know what is it at the end of this session, right? Okay. Let me go to the next slides. Okay. Right. So Gagan mentioned that in 2025, that when first started, what is your plan? Are you planning to prosper or are you planning to fail? You see, everything you need to plan. Everybody wants to be successful, but nobody plans to fail, right? But the problem is, that is the key thing. If you don't plan, you may fail. So so you need to plan, and how are you going to do it? By using what? Your normal planning, or what we are doing is by our Chinese metaphysics. We use Chinese metaphysics to help us, to assist us in planning what we should do and moving forward, right? So in general, there are certain areas you need to know. This is a very general area. Like you need to talk about how you protect your income and your assets, right? Or you need to build emergency funds. As general rule, as I'm from insurance career, so we always talk about emergency funds. You need to set aside 6 months of emergency funds, monthly emergency funds for yourself, just in case things don't work out. So that is very important, right? Next, you need to shield your wealth, right? Or in terms of you need to adjust your investment, be it stocks investment or some other opportunities. And you need to talk about optimize your taxes also. What you can do to give you the best area in giving you better tax, right? And also you got to aware of the legal structures, of course, right? Then we also talk about that we have to avoid these wealth traps. Wealth trap like debts. The problem is that recently I got into a small little tax because I bought a car. So the car is on, I think a small little loan. So I'm paying the debts. But I calculated this debt is manageable. So that's why I go ahead with it, right? So sometimes you need to calculate whether are you able to handle the debts.
Yeah, you bought a car which is going to last you for more than 10 years, but I totally understand. You don't sometimes, taking on debt, you don't have a choice because we live in a society and we have family and life to manage. So we have to manage the debt, but it is how do you plan and prepare yourself to get out of the debt too? So Chinese metaphysics creates amazing opportunities for us to tap into to make good decisions, and those decisions really pay off well.
Yes, it does. Okay, then you need to build your circles, your community, find your mentors and collaboration. As well, just as Gaga mentioned, she's looking for people to collaborate. Likewise to me, you say, in terms of how I use this modality in my life, example for Bazi, okay, in last year, I have coming to a next luck cycle of 10 years whereby it shows that I need to do so-called to have a collaboration, right? So when Gagan approached me talking about, hey, let's work together to run this so-called Chinese metaphysics, Then it just come in and then strike me. Oh yeah, that is what I should do, because I'm talking about the 10 years collaboration I need to go into for now, for the next 10 years. So you see, so that's how I use my budget to look into this. On top of that, we also look into talk about monthly budget. So in my chart, okay, in my chart for my personal destiny chart, uh, snake year is a traveling star for me. What is a traveling star? Means that it tends to to travel a lot during this 2025. And apparently, you know why? I've been traveling since every month except for March. In January, I went to London. Okay, I'll talk a little bit of why I went to London later on. Okay, because I use a little bit of modality, actually, or achievement to go to London, right? So I went to London in January. I went to Taiwan in February. Took a break in March. And I went to China, Chongqing in April. And this month, next week, next Monday, I'm going to China again, Guangzhou and Hong Kong. Then in June, I'm going to Malaysia, Langkawi, because I'm attending Achievement Club meeting. And that's not all, because I haven't planned my July to December yet. So I've been traveling almost every month because I have snake. Snake is my traveling month. But on top of that, I have another problematic animal sign. That's what Gagan was mentioning, the dragon. Okay, so dragon is a problematic to me. Okay, but however, dragon is also my career palace, also my career, and I have a clash with my career palace. You see, and on top of that, dragon is also have this star called auxiliary star called uh sickness charm, my sickness charm. See, so when I know that I have this sickness charm, okay, in 2025, then I have to be very aware of my health status. That's why in the end, in March I took a break because I went for some full body medical checkup. Okay, I went for colonoscopy, I went for endoscopy, I went for ultrasound, and guess what? I didn't know actually. Luckily, I went for this test, and then of course, the colonoscopy and the endoscopy turned out to be fine. I have a small little polyps, which are benign. Okay, tested the biopsy, and then during the ultrasound, I found to have this pancreas cyst, which is uncommon. You see, according to the doctor, pancreas cyst is uncommon, and usually pancreas cyst will not be so-called found, or you will not have any symptoms. Okay, for in the early stage. So when it's having a pain, the pancreas is very near to the liver. Okay, for those who know about medical. So for pancreas, if you start to have pain in the pancreas, it denotes almost so-called the final stage or end stage, not say of the life of the pancreas. So it's a very important organ. So luckily, I went for this ultrasound, and then I found to have this cyst in the pancreas, and I went for an MRI as well last week. And then this yesterday, I went for the review. It shows that this cysts are benign as well. Yeah. So you see, with this come in mind, I'm aware of okay, this year I'll be very careful of my health. So I do a lot of checkup, medical checkup, to make sure I'm healthy. So that's how we use the parts in this manner. It depends on how you're going to see this. It can be in terms of health. You can use parts in terms of your long-term goal, like collaboration with Gagan, or some other things. It depends how you're going to use this modality parts, right? Next one, I use also, like I said, just I mentioned that I go to London, right? Okay, why I went to London? Okay, because last year, when my daughter she wanted to actually enroll into a program called exchange program, because she's in NTU, the Chinese Singapore one of the university. So there's exchange program for overseas engagement. So she gave me three places to go, to choose from. One is Korea, two is from England. Okay, two is from England. One is from Korea. So she asked me which one should she choose and which one will benefit her more. So in the end, I used Chiman, okay, to choose which one is better for her. And also from Chiman to tell her which one will get so-called the approval. And also, but before the approval, so when she submitted the three of them, and three Actually, she submitted all three. I told her that likelihood she'll get the first one. Okay. And then, but before she get the first one, there's an interview. So I chose a date for her to back certain direction to went for the interview. And she got it. And with so many people, there's only one slot, mind you, only one slot available. And she got it. Yeah, she got it. And it's in London. So that's why, so yeah, since you're going to London, uh, and the period is from January to June, 6 months. That's why I planned, okay, let's go to London together. That's how the London came in the picture. So I use treatment to do this so-called checking for my daughter, which so-called the overseas attachment is better, or exchange program is better for her. And guess what? Now she actually is enjoying because she's in Spain now. She's traveling. She's enjoying her life. Not really in London. Instead, she went for a short trip. Yeah, she traveled from Italy to Spain, and then before that, she went to uh, Slovakia, Slovenia, or Bosnia. She went to so many countries. After, I think tomorrow she will back to London. Then her next plan, okay, is to go to. Let me see what she said. I think she's go back to Germany and so on. He says she's enjoying her 6 month exchange there. Yeah. So on top of this treatment, besides I can use on this area, okay, I also use treatment to do, I call it the forecasting on some illness. This is a little sad story, okay, because one of my friend, okay, in fact, he was critically ill. He was admitted to one of the government hospital, and the doctor called me, said, okay, my father is in the hospital for about 2 weeks, and they have been doing a lot of so-called tests, which they couldn't find the cause and the diagnosis. So I plotted the treatment chart and then checked what is going on. And treatment chart shows that this friend is having a very rare blood disorder. And in order to cure this blood disorder, you need to change or move to another hospital. So I managed to convince the doctor to move her father to another hospital. Of course, which hospital also, okay, from the treatment chart, right? And by this move is not easy because the government hospital will need them to sign a discharge letter to discharge their responsibility by moving the father. Plus, my friend was actually bedridden. Okay, he couldn't move. Okay, so after this shift from one hospital to another hospital, and again the chart shows that within 3 days they will come up with this diagnosis. And it really on the second day the doctor came out. Okay, this is what kind of very rare blood disorder, and they straight away gave him a very strong injection, kind of blood transfusion, not a normal usual blood transfusion. And then right now he's at home recovering. So treatment can be used in many different ways. Yeah, be it just simple for my daughter asking which school should she go for exchange, or it could be something like this very serious so-called the illness forecasting. So been using the treatment for forecasting and strategy execution. So this second part actually I did for the past 1 year for treatment. How about I Ching? Okay. I Ching is I use quite often on doing the investment, especially on stock investment. It's not that using the I Ching for stock investment is by the so-called, okay, I'll ask I Ching to tell me which stock to buy. No, you have to do your own homework first. You have to do your homework on which stocks you want to buy, which stock has a potential. It's not that you just buy based on the I Ching, okay? It doesn't work in that way. So after you've done some homework and then find that, okay, this stock there's a potential, you use I Ching to ask whether is it the right time to go in. Because after doing all this so-called your homework or your this checking, with all these news here and there, right? So I've been using I Ching on the investment, on the rather in the stock exchange Yeah, because I usually buy this US stocks. I don't buy Singapore stocks. Okay, I rather buy US stocks. Of course, with the recent so-called the stock market fluctuation, I can see, or as what Gagan mentioned, this last 5 years, I can tell you the stock market is really going haywire, right? But again, this I Ching able to help me to actually make a very, I would say, prudent decision. And making some investment to earn some money. I'm not looking at those like speculating, like I buy and then straight I sell. I'm talking about a little bit long term, like maybe holding on for a couple of days or couple of weeks rather than just a short term. Yeah. So this is my use of the I Ching on the investment. And then of course, the last but not least, okay, we're talking about the Feng Shui, right? So these are modality we're talking about, right? Yeah. That's why it's by Feng Shui. Like, let me show you the Feng Shui. Okay. I shared with, I think we shared this Feng Shui, some of the activation here and there or mitigation during our past few so-called the Feng Shui live stream. Right? I chose a date. Okay. I told Gagan and Armen, okay, on this day, okay, uh, set up a water tank, okay, water tank in the southeast. Okay, so this is my water tank. This is my water tank. I bought a water tank. Okay, and you realize that this water tank there's no fish. The fish is irrelevant. There's no fish. The purpose I just need to have water, running water, so-called with bubbles. That is the purpose. So it's not the fish. So I got no fish until today. There's still no fish in my water tank. Okay. So this water, what's the purpose of activating this so-called water activation in the southeast? Because in terms of feng shui, southeast we need to see water. And in period 9 again, we talk about this period 9. Period 9, southeast is very good now to see water also. And at the time when we set up this thing, okay, this year, in southeast, we have star 1. And the month we set up this thing, southeast, we have star 9. So we have star 9 and star 1. Okay, what is the purpose of star 9 and star 1? Let me go a little bit. Okay, I won't go too much. Well, star 1 is talking about noble people. Okay, star 9 is talking about innovation. So when I combine, it's the 9 plus 1 is a combination of 10. Again, this is a little bit technical. I will not go into more. Just let you know that. So when these two combine, they have something miracle, or we say very good coming across. So after my activation of this star 1, which is talking about the nobleman, appearing for the last, I would say, 2 months, I have two so-called noblemen which came in. Okay, one nobleman is my boss. Okay, let me elaborate a bit more. Both my boss and I, we have a very small so-called the what do I call it? It's a very small business project. Okay, a very small business project. Then suddenly he come and told me that let's sell this business project. Okay, with a profit. I said, why not? Okay, and then if you think that it's time to sell, we sell. I leave it to him because I didn't do anything. He's the one doing the selling. He's the one to coordinating. He's the one to get everything done or within 1 month. I didn't do anything. So he's my nobleman, in fact, because we get a profit of 100,000. Yeah, 100,000. And this 100,000, of course, upfront payment is 40,000. And then the balance of 60,000 is by installment. So straight away, once he received the 40,000, he's transferred 20,000 to me. That is approximately 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So you see, sometimes it's like that. When you activate something, something will just come in. You see? So this is water activation. I didn't do anything. No. Basically, I just sit down there. Boss, you make all decision. How much you want to sell? I'm okay. Or you go and make whatever arrangement, and the money just comes in. You see? The second nobleman is that recently there's some I wouldn't say a very serious complaint against one of my consultants. It's just they are unhappy on certain things that actually one of my consultants saying or not clear in delivering the so-called the message across. So this client called me to so-called handle the situation. And this morning I just met this client together with the head office staff, uh, and we managed to actually explain to the client the whole situation, and then make the whole thing, I would say, more amicable. And then, you know what? In the end, the client was so happy. The client was so happy with the things actually we have explained to her, and then with the outcome. And of course, with the help of one of the very nice head office staff. So to me, the head office staff is also my Doberman, because before meeting this client, I asked this head office staff to find out a lot of things for me, because there are a lot of information I cannot find. She managed to get this thing done within 2 days. And then we met the client with all the information and made the client happy. You see, so these are the noble bird actually I'm receiving by just simply doing your activation. And this activation can last for 20 years. Right? That's why we're doing that. So I hope Gagan and Armen, with this activation, I think we shall have more things to come, because it's a very good activation. Yeah. Okay. And then next one, you talking about you talk about the meditation. We saw this dumbbell. In January, we also talk about this so-called mitigation of the fire yellow. So we talk about fire yellow mitigation, we need to put weights in the fire yellow sector, which is in the northeast, right? So if you have not done so, maybe you want to actually engage us to choose a date for you to put this put this metal in the fire yellow sector, which is the northeast. Okay, what this mitigation of this fire yellow means? It means that it will help to actually mitigate away some, because fire yellow is talking about calamities, right? Something may happen, okay, abrupt, unforeseen. So with this mitigation, we also help you to resolve many or suppress all these very serious issues. Yeah. So you do face this type of issues, contact us. Okay, we can actually set up consult. We can actually help you to not say solve, maybe mitigate the effect of this fire yellow. And last but not least, we saw the fire activation. As and when we will do some, I will say to them, okay, let's do a fire activation on certain sectors. What is the purpose of fire activation or even water activation? Is to activate the so-called the wealth opportunity, right? So we've been doing that, I would say almost every month or every fortnight. Yeah. So these are the things we've been doing for the last so-called the 1 year, for the last 5 months, right? Yeah. So I would say that's how I use my this so-called the Feng Shui, Bazi, Qi and I Ching on my own daily life. Whether how am I going to use it? It all depends on you, right? I hope Gagan they also have benefited with all this so-called the activation here and there, right? Yeah,
Hear me?
I can't hear you, Gagan.
Me? I'm trying to speak. Can you hear me, guys?
Okay, it's better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I think my mic was not working properly when you guys were sharing. So I was like, okay, is it working? Not working? I'm not sure. But William, one thing I
Yes.
have to say, the activations and the mitigations, the knowledge, the wisdom that you have shared with the community in the last 1 year. And for those who are watching us live and don't know about William, if you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and like us, you will get notified. But if you go back to the live stream section and see all the various things, especially feng shui sessions that William has shared with the community, that will be an eye opener and a starting point. But the activations that we did for period 9, the 20-year activations with the water, setting up the tanks and the water features in the southeast in the particular sector on the right date at the right time, that has created amazing results for me. And I don't think it's been 3 months yet. We did it like probably in March, I think.
Yes, in
Because
March. Yeah, in
in
March.
March, yes, because even though the snake year energy started to shift and kind of kick-started us last year, but it didn't start till February. But there was nothing good in February to pick a date for a good activation that would last us for 20 years. So you did your magic. You found us the right date and the time, and Armen did his activation. I did mine. And I'll tell you with the water activation, a few things that has happened to me. I'm big into investments, and I do a lot of. I use Chinese Metaphysics, Qi especially, and Ziwei Dao Shu, which is all my personal charts to look into the projects that I want to go into, And I have on my Bazi chart indirect resource as one of the top levels. So I love trading and patterns, and I like to create something long term rather than short term. So I don't hesitate from building something like a project or a partnership or anything from a long term vision perspective. So all those activations and mitigations that we did, which you were talking about in your slide, that what we did here, let's see if I can share my screen. Okay, so this is what you were talking about, right? So all these things that we've done has helped me tremendously because my oldest son started his degree last year. So he finished first year. So I'm very proud of him for doing that. My daughter finished her degree. I'm super excited for her and so proud of her for the hard work she's put in 4 years. But more than that, she was stressed about not having an internship, you know. She was stressed for not having a part-time job. She was stressed, you know, not having a full-time job. But when we started looking at her Karmic Numerology aspect, we looked at her Bazi aspect, we looked at Tong Shu, and she knows Chiman manifestations, everything started to fall in alignment, you know. So she graduated, she has a full-time job, she got amazing internship opportunities, she got part-time jobs in the right field, and she also got to travel last year to Portugal and Amsterdam because of the school, like the university programs. Just like, William, how your daughter is on an exchange program, my daughter got to do the same. And it's so amazing. It feels really good most often. And we started talking about this. Like, I dropped my son off to school this morning, and for the first time, he said, "So what is your topic about the live stream today? What are you going to talk about with your community?" And I'm like, "You've never asked me that. Amazing. We are celebrating our first year together." So he says, "It's already been 1 year." I'm like, "Yeah, when you're having fun, time flies, right?" So it's great when your own kids start to ask questions, or they take interest, or they want something from you. Like my daughter will say, "Can I have my charts for the next 3 months so that I can plan my projects and I can plan my important tasks accordingly?" Even if they're not masters in it, if you can tap into the energy that is in front of you and you can prepare yourself and plan accordingly, you will create results. You will be able to manifest what you really want, whether you are struggling in your health, in your life, in your career, whether it's education or wealth, or maybe your focus is passive income or investments. You know, whatever your focus is, Chinese metaphysics can help. Now, we have done the annual forecasts for sure, but what I wanted to share is that those times are gone, which we have actually shared in the past. So now it would be time, like William said, that engage in the consultation so that we can really look at your situation, your challenge, and create the results. Maybe sometimes the root cause is not visible, but you can seek into the wisdom of Chiman and Bazi and other modalities to see what is hidden and it's not surfacing before it's too late. So it's my turn to share what I've done in the last 1 year. So besides creating this amazing partnership, I've led monthly sessions which are based on the forecasting aspects using Chiman Danja. Chiman is very personal and favorite to me. So I love Chiman and I use that as forecasting modality. I've co-facilitated Period 9 Masterclass and Unlocking the Secrets of Wealth Masterclass that Armen led. I usually work behind the scenes a lot. Like I went to bed at 3 o'clock this morning, you know, working on the design aspect and the slide decks, the digital marketing aspect, the online sales aspect. I do with my team a lot of SEO for all our stuff that is online, and I handle all the operational aspects. I love doing all that because it's all about building your brand. It's all about showing up with solutions, and it's all about the quality of the service that you deliver that people want to come back and listen to you and engage you with the products and services that you offer. So, Sixth Harmony and Wealth Palace. So I'm talking about Chiman here. I've always realized that I'm great with building teams, and I love public speaking, and I love training teams. And you know how the Chinese saying goes, and of course I don't know how to speak in Chinese, but it's about, if you can teach someone how to fish, it's definitely better than giving somebody the fish to eat, right? So I believe in that concept that instead of being an enabler, which can be a default wiring for women sometimes, because you are the mother, you're the wife, you're the sister, you're the caregiver, you're the domestic person, you are the provider of a homemaker. So by default, women can be enablers, and women can show up without realizing in doing things rather than letting other people do. So I had to learn that the harder way, that my default wiring is also can be an enabler, because I can be a rescuer to a lot of people. And I've been tested by assessments in corporate jobs that my response rate in emergency situations or crises management is very high, like 98 percentile. So when there is a chaos, or when there is a crisis, or when there's an emergency, Gagan doesn't lose her cool. Gagan shows up as if she's in charge and can manage. Yes, that's my sixth sense, I think, that comes out in case of crises. But I also learned that I need to manage that crisis way before it happens too. And sometimes you can manage it, and sometimes no matter what you do, it just shows up. But preparing yourself is very important. I always believe that preparation beats planning. Planning we all do by default, but if we can prepare ourselves, then let's say if the schedule changed or the plan changed, you can think on your feet and not lose your balance. So Sixth Harmony is my deity that sits on my wealth palace on my personal chart. So I started applying and cultivating my relationship with Sixth Harmony deity based on Chimandanja chart, and started building partnerships. And my one word for 2025 is leverage, where I want to grow and build teams. I started with this consulting group. I've kind of leveraged it on other aspects of my businesses and my career and my life. I grew my franchise business. I have a nationwide brand called Chefs for Seniors. So I have owned that territory and the first franchise in the Dallas-Fort Worth market for 6 years. And last year, I actually bought another territory in partnership with a friend and a colleague. We've been building different territories for last 5 years. So we came together and bought a new territory, and we are very excited about that. When I talk about Feng Shui activations, I was able to also get equity ownership in multi-billion-dollar companies. And that was one of the big things that I wanted to participate in, so that I have something for my future. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you don't get to participate in your 401k funds or something. So you have to be very cautiously and consciously participate in creating your long-term wealth. And that has been on my forefront, priority in the last 2-3 years. So that's what I did. With Armen sharing the money triangle awareness, we did last year in April, the money code numerical keys activation that he did for us. And we do sell that as a service too. That is for an annual activation to protect your health and wealth and create success. So it all depends upon your focus. Like we were talking about, what is your priority? Is it health or is it wealth? Is it both? Or is it relationships? Is it something else? We can customize the solutions based upon your needs and desires. So that's what I focused on. And then from our partnership perspective, we created the 2025 Achievers Guide. If you don't know what that is, you can go to gagansarkaria.com and look at Achievers Guide, or you can go to YouTube channel and kind of, browse through the videos, because it's all there. We do talk about it pretty much in all our videos. And then we also not only co-facilitated the live Period 9 Masterclass, which is such an important masterclass for everybody to attend and watch, because now that is not live, it's a recorded course. And then Unlocking the Secrets of Wealth Masterclass is also a recorded course. So we created these masterclasses, we held them live. And in the last masterclass we did in March, we had students from 6 different countries. And so far, if I look at the analytics, we are touching audiences in 10 different countries in the last 1 year, which is super amazing. I'm very excited about that part. But the highlight of my last year has been my travels, and trip to Kuala Lumpur and Singapore are at the peak, where I met my mentors. I've been a student of Dr. Joey Yap since August of 2019. So I started Chinese Metaphysics journey with Ziwei Daoshu in January of 2016. And then 3 years later, Dato came into my life, and I started learning through him. I started learning Qigong, and then there has been no going back, because it just opens up so many amazing opportunities for you as you learn and grow, and you find friends. So I've been studying for so long, but I had never attended a live event that he has organized. So last year, all 7 of us, all the buddies, we went to the event in Kuala Lumpur, and from there we went to Singapore. So I was able to take a vacation after 7.5 years. So who said building businesses was easy? But you're passionate about what you are going to see. If you see the vision long term, not only like a year, 2 years, but literally 10 years, and you can actually answer to your charts, the 20 years consecutive, the 2 DE 10-year cycles, I'm going to get out of my 20-year cycle pretty soon. So you can imagine that I have been attracted to the alternative modalities, metaphysical, the unknown secrets. And I don't know if you know this or not, Great Moon is my guardian of destiny. So I'm all about the hidden secrets, Okay, what is there that is not visible, but has the solutions? It's like, you look at the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg is there, but there is so much hidden and underneath the water that you don't even see. That's what attracts me. And Chinese metaphysics was able to give me that knowledge and that understanding, that where I could calm myself and ground myself to create success, and come out of being broken, so many times, and you would never see me crying or anything. Like, it doesn't mean that I don't cry. I do cry, I do kick and punch also sometimes, like, oh my gosh, this is not working. But you get out of those negative frequencies and vibrations pretty fast when you know how to tap into the positive sides of things. So with that said, I'm going to share, the amazing journeys and the sightseeings we did in Singapore. Oh my gosh, William, you made that trip, and June made that trip so beautiful. And all of us, like, meeting your wife and having Jake and Sydney's, kids, like, it was just amazing trip that I will cherish for such a long time. And getting to bond with you and with and Armen there, that was a rare opportunity. And Armen, the church that we went to, the Armenian church, and it had the museum in there. Oh my goodness. I love architecture. I love history. I love knowing where people come from. I love what the past brings, the knowledge and the lessons. And what a powerful, amazing culture and history you have. That just was like another highlight. And thanks to William, who found the church. I'm like, amazing, this is great. We just show up and have fun. That was amazing. Another highlight was that I got to speak in front of 2,000 people at the event with Dr. Joey Yap. This was my first time meeting him. And it was just an amazing experience to have his blessings, to meet him behind the stage, and then to share the stage with him. That was excellent experience that I'm so honored to see what's happening here. So, okay, what did we do? The most watched live streams. Oh, I don't know our slide deck. Okay, so the most watched live streams, don't know where the images went. I can see it on my deck, but it's not showing up here. So, so the most watched live streams, I'll tell you, and probably I'll put the links in the link, was the annual forecasts that we did was with Bazi, and the annual forecast we did was with let's see if I can show this one. Yeah, see, there it is. So the most watched live streams were from the 2025 annual Bazi and Feng Shui forecast, and then how to create wealth using Chimandanja and numerology. So we had 188 views on one, and then the other one we had 178. See, so Chiman and Bazi. And of course, when we talk about Bazi, we also talk about a little bit of numerology as well. So these were the two most watched live streams. The other one, William, if you will move the slide to the next one. So this is another two ones that Armen did. Discover the negative aspects of your day of birth, and then what are the karmic tasks based on your day of birth. So these had high views also, 114 and 116. This was live streamed recently. So if you are enjoying the session, please like and share the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications. Your subscription matters to us. Your love and your likes matter to us. We are able to create better impact if you subscribe to the channel. So please give us a subscribe if you like what we're sharing. So if you want to talk about, okay, so that was the live streams that we did, like the inspired insights that we go on live and we share. The most watched video on the channel in the last 11 months is this video that I did, how to leverage your astrology chart for wealth creation. And in this video, I talk about investing. How do I use my own charts? What do I look at when I when I evaluate a project from an investment point? How do you align with period 9 and your chart? How do you assess an investment opportunity? That was one of the most watched video with over 312 views. Because of what we have been doing in 2023, 2024, and going into 2025, as we get to use Chinese metaphysics. Last year, I created a brand for myself called The Limitless Crowd. I have a website, and this brand is all about my investment projects as I get to share them with my community and people who are interested in doing investments. I have different projects in here that I have. They're all last year's projects that I started. And I'm super excited with the success of these projects. Some of them are closed because they were short-term projects open for investments, like retail investors to come in and participate. And some are now continuing to grow. So I wanted to create a portfolio for myself from an investment standpoint as an investor, because as it is on my chart and the new era that I'm walking into, I should be investing, because that's where I want to leverage, where I can save for the future, but my money needs to make money. And I love the fact that I can create all of that with teams using 6 Harmony, which sits not only on my relationship palace, but on my wealth and health palace. So based upon my knowledge of Chinese metaphysics, I'm able to create my success. And I also organized a live event here in Dallas. I had 175 plus attendees for that, which was a great experience for me. If I go to, where is my deck? Okay, I don't know. I think I'm showing Armen's deck. and I'm trying to figure out like, okay, where's my screen happening? So there it is. So we've got somehow, okay, William, Armen,
Yes.
somebody has to move the deck because I think my slide. Okay, so this is Armen's deck, right? Okay.
I can move. I can
Okay.
move.
Okay, thank you. So besides the Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia trip, I also took a trip to Vegas last year, which was a business conference in Vegas, all for investment opportunities and presentation. So what happened here was that this is all based upon period 9 insights. So when I look at a project, I look at period 9 aspects. I look at my own personal charts, which is Bazi, Ziwei, and Chimen. And then I plot the Chimen charts to see if I should participate in this or not, and whether this should be a passive investment or do I need to be active to build a team. So I met an amazing group of people there. They're all a part of my team. This is something that was unbelievable. We just had dinner, and then now they're all business partners and team members here, which is, who could think like 6 months later this would happen? And then if you remember in period 9, I met Dr. Mainel. I met Dr. Mainel here in Vegas too. And then she came and attended our period 9 masterclass, which was great. So this is all about health. So I'm all about health and wealth. If you don't have good health, what are you going to do with the wealth? Because then you're going to spend all your wealth in trying to get the health. So you have to have a balance, but your priority needs to be health, whether it's mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, whatever aspect of health, that needs to be your priority. And if you are stressed and your body is reacting to it in form of a disease, you'll end up spending all your money in trying to get that health back. So you have to get to the root cause before you start investing. You have to get to the root cause of understanding what is your priority. So if you go to the next slide, what I talk about here is come join our channel. So in 2023, I had, I think that's when I started the Telegram channel called the Abundance Manifestation Channel. I had 59 subscribers. In 2024, we kind of doubled it. It was 128. Right now, we are like 3.5 months into it. We are at 196 subscribers. So my request is, my encouragement is, my invitation is to come and be a part of our channel. Here is the QR code for you to take a look at it and then go from here. Come be a part of our community. The goals for 2025. So we talked about what we've done in the last 1 year, what our objectives were, what our key accomplishments are, what the key results have been. Now for the next remaining part of 2025, we are only 3.5 months into 2025. So literally like 1 quarter is done. We've got 3 more quarters to go. And our goal is to deliver 2 new masterclasses. Armen is working on one, which has to do with Karmic Numerology, money, and mission, which we plan to launch sometime in July. And then we'll come up with another masterclass for probably the 4th quarter. Our goal as a group is to deliver 4 new corporate trainings, get 100 new students, 200 new subscribers. So come help us gain our goals, but also be a part of the community, because we want to continue bringing new and inspired insights to you guys on a regular basis. And you should create your results based on your charts like we have done in the last 1 year. So I encourage you to scan the QR code. I invite you to book a consultation with us. Tell us what is your challenge, and we will be able to help you, guide you through this phase and create solutions for you. This is all for today. Thank you so much for watching us and joining us as we celebrate our 1-year anniversary for Inspired Insights and the Gagan Sarkaria Consulting Group. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. William, Armen, as always, thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Good night.